The 7 miracles that happen the moment a married couple's frequencies synchronize. When the two souls begin to play a single frequency, as told by Tesla, one day, suddenly, a moment arrives when the heavy air that flowed between a husband and wife vanishes, as if it were never there at all. This is not because a fight has ended. It is not because the other person has changed. It is not because you have learned to endure. It is the quietest and the most dramatic change of all. One that happens the moment the two frequencies synchronize completely at a single point in the universe. Until now, I have observed the energy that flows between countless married couples. The essence of marriage is not the amount of affection. It is not how well two people match. It is not the skill of communication. The true core is one single cosmic fact. It is how deeply the frequencies broadcast by the two souls are synchronized. In the world of physics, there is a fascinating phenomenon. When you place two tuning forks of the same frequency side by side, and you sound only one of them, the other naturally begins to sound as well. No one has touched it, yet the vibration alone travels across, through the air. The relationship between a husband and wife is exactly the same. And the universe has prepared a moment when the frequencies of two people who have lived together for many years suddenly synchronize into one. No one knows in which year it will arrive. Sometimes it arrives for a young couple in their 3rd year of marriage. Sometimes it arrives, at last, for a mature couple who have passed through 40 years of marriage. But when that moment arrives, the reality of that couple enters a completely different realm. Around the two of them, miracles that cannot be explained begin to happen, one after another. In this video, I will speak about the 7 miracles that always happen the moment a couple's frequencies synchronize. Furthermore, I will explain why there are periods when a couple cannot reach the same frequency. I will explain the thought patterns that push synchronization away, and I will gently uncover, from the perspective of the quantum world, the specific rituals for quietly synchronizing the two frequencies. If, right now, you feel tired in your relationship with your partner, or if, on the contrary, you have recently begun to feel some gentle change, please stay with this until the very end. By the time you finish listening today, the true nature of the energy flowing between you and your partner will be clearly visible. Chapter 1. What it means for a couple's frequencies to synchronize. The physical phenomenon of two frequencies becoming one. First, let me explain carefully, from the physics of the universe, what it specifically means for frequencies to synchronize. Every human being lives with their own unique frequency. Like a fingerprint, it is a vibration of the soul that differs from one person to the next. And for two human beings to live together for a long time means that two different frequencies keep resonating with each other within the same space. Here lies the most delicate mechanism of the universe. At first, the two frequencies vibrate separately. But when they continue to exist in the same space for a long time, from a certain point, they begin to influence each other. In physics, this is called the phenomenon of entrainment. For example, two pendulum clocks placed near each other, even if they swing apart at first, will, as time passes, always begin to swing in the same rhythm. This is not a legend, and not a metaphor. It is a physical phenomenon that is actually observed. The frequency of a married couple exists within this exact same law. However, in the case of human beings, things do not move as simply as pendulum clocks. This is because the human frequency has complex layers piled upon it. Layers of emotion, of past wounds, of belief, and of fear. These layers keep getting in the way of the natural entrainment between two people for a long time. Even so, as long as the two of them keep living under the same roof, the force of entrainment keeps working quietly and surely beneath the surface. And one day, when the layers of each have been sufficiently shed, the two frequencies overlap completely at a single point in the universe. This is the moment the frequencies synchronize. Think of it like the moment two tuning forks finally begin the same vibration. When one of them feels sadness, the chest of the other naturally aches too. When one of them feels joy, the expression of the other softens without their knowing. Even without exchanging words, the vibration alone travels across, through the air. And from the moment this synchronization happens, the reality of that couple changes from its very foundation. The quality of energy that gathers around the two of them changes, the meaning of the events that happen changes, and the flow of life itself changes. Chapter 2. The 5 signs that always appear before the frequencies begin to synchronize. The synchronization of frequencies is not completed suddenly, in a single day. Before it, quiet signs always arrive. Here, let me tell you the 5 signs that appear when the 2 frequencies begin to draw closer. The first, the quality of your fights suddenly begins to change. Fights that used to clash emotionally, from a certain point, strangely turn into quiet ones. Shouting at each other decreases, and the true feelings behind each other's words naturally begin to become visible. This is proof that the 2 frequencies have begun to resonate at a deeper layer, beyond the surface layer of emotion. The second, silence, changes from awkwardness into comfort. Time spent in silence, just the 2 of you, which once felt uncomfortable, from a certain point, strangely turns into something calm. Even without speaking at all, simply being in the same room feels natural. This change is a sign that the 2 frequencies have begun to connect in a realm beyond words. The third, you naturally begin to notice the small changes in your partner. A shadow on your partner's expression that you used to overlook. A subtle change in the tone of their voice. A gesture different from usual. You suddenly become sensitive to these things. This is proof that your frequency has begun to align into a state where it can finally pick up your partner's frequency. The fourth, you speak the same words in the same moment. With no arrangement at all, the 2 of you say exactly the same words, at the same time. Or, what one of you was about to say, the other says first. If these small moments of synchrony have suddenly begun to increase, the synchronization of frequencies is almost here. The fifth, you suddenly begin to like the version of yourself that exists when you are with your partner. This is the deepest sign of all. A way of being that you never even paid attention to before. You suddenly begin to find it likable when you are together with your partner. This is proof that the 2 frequencies are resonating and that your own original frequency has begun to be drawn out by the presence of your partner. Among these 5 signs, are there any that have already begun to happen to you? If even one of them has begun, then the synchronization of the 2 frequencies has already quietly started. Chapter 3. Why there are periods when a couple cannot reach the same frequency. The cosmic reason. Here, let me speak clearly about a question that many couples carry. Why is it that 2 people who married while loving each other suddenly become unable to understand each other from a certain period? Why is it that, while living under the same roof, they fall into the feeling of living in completely different worlds? This phenomenon has a clear cosmic reason. It is because the 2 souls are each growing at a different speed. The soul does not stop growing the moment of marriage. Rather, within the vessel of marriage, the 2 of them each keep facing the lessons of their own soul. And the speed of soul growth differs greatly, from person to person, and from period to period. In one period, the husband grows rapidly. In the next period, the wife gains a deep realization and rises. This gap in the rhythm of growth appears, within reality, as a gap in the couple's frequencies. This never means that the 2 are a poor match. It does not mean that the love between the 2 has cooled. It is a process of necessary time difference, one that the universe is giving to the 2 of them. Think about it. When 2 people climb the same mountain, they are not necessarily always at the same height. There is time when one climbs ahead and looks back to wait. There is time when the other catches up, and the 2 stand side by side again. And then again, there is time when the other moves ahead. Mountain climbing is, by its very nature, a repetition of this rhythm. The relationship of a married couple is exactly the same. However, here is a truth that must not be overlooked. The very period when the two souls are growing at different speeds is the most important period of preparation, a preparation toward the synchronization of frequencies. When people feel a gap, they think their relationship is broken. But from the perspective of the universe, it is not broken. It is a period in which each of them is shedding the layers they need to shed for the sake of the deep synchronization that will eventually arrive. And the longer this period of preparation is, the deeper and the more unshakable the synchronization that arrives afterward becomes. There is a clear reason why a couple who has passed through long trials together reaches a deeper synchronization of frequencies in the end than a couple who hit it off quickly in their youth. This is exactly that reason. So, if you now feel a gap between yourself and your partner, it is not a signal of an ending. It means you are in the very middle of the most important preliminary stage, the stage that leads toward true synchronization. Chapter 4. The 4 fatal thought patterns that push synchronization away. The synchronization of two frequencies is, by its true nature, something that arrives for anyone through the natural force of entrainment. But certain thought patterns can push that natural flow away for a very, very long time. Here, let me clearly point out 4 fatal thought patterns. The first pattern is to try to change your partner into the shape of your own ideal. I want them to be kinder. I want them to listen to me more. I want them to help with the housework more. These wishes are never bad, but the energy of trying to change your partner pushes your frequency further and further away from your partner's frequency. This is because the very act of trying to change them broadcasts a frequency that denies your partner's original vibration. The second pattern is to replay past events, again and again, within your heart. I was told that. Back then. I was treated that way. Back then. You replay past wounds, again and again, within your heart. In terms of frequency, this is the act of keeping the you of now bound to the frequency of that time in the past. You become completely unable to synchronize with your partner's frequency in this present moment. The third pattern is to keep measuring the gap between your expectations of your partner and reality. I do this much for them, yet my partner does nothing for me. You bring an invisible scale into the relationship, and you always try to measure the balance. But in the world of frequency, a scale does not exist. The moment you bring in a scale, the two frequencies begin to vibrate within different formulas of calculation, and they become unable to resonate. The fourth pattern is to judge your partner's frequency as lower than your own. This is a trap that people knowledgeable about the spiritual world or self-growth are especially likely to fall into. You come to hold a sense of high and low, thinking, I have already awakened, but my partner has not yet awakened. But in the world of frequency, there is no high and low. There is only difference. The moment you hold a sense of high and low, your frequency rides onto a separate orbit, one that will never cross with your partner's. So what should you do? The answer is just one thing. Do not try to change your partner. Do not replay the past. Do not measure expectations. Do not create high and low. Simply receive the vibration of your partner in this present moment, exactly as it is. That alone, and the two frequencies, riding the natural force of entrainment of the universe, quietly begin to head toward synchronization. Chapter 5. The 7 miracles that happen the moment the frequencies synchronize. Here is the center of today's talk. Let me tell you, carefully, one by one, about the 7 miracles that always happen the moment a couple's frequencies synchronize completely at a single point in the universe. The first miracle. Moments increase in which your partner's intention is conveyed, even without exchanging words. This is a miracle that many couples experience at the very start of synchronization. The moment you think of something you want to ask for, your partner has already begun doing it. The moment you think you want them to buy something, your partner comes home holding that same thing. This is not a coincidence. As a result of the two brainwaves beginning to resonate at the same frequency, intention is being transmitted at a quantum level. The second miracle. The two of you begin to see the same dream. This is a miracle that appears especially in couples who have reached a deep synchronization. When you wake up in the morning, it begins to happen that the two of you saw a dream of exactly the same place, the same person, the same event. In quantum physics, the world of dreams is considered a non-local realm of consciousness. When the two frequencies synchronize, the two consciousnesses begin to meet. Even in this non-local realm, the third miracle, when one of you is troubled, the other is naturally thinking about the same thing. With no consultation at all, when the husband is hesitating over a certain decision, the wife, on that same night, is also thinking deeply about that decision. This is proof that the two souls no longer carry separate problems. It might even be expressed this way. One soul, through two bodies, is facing the same lesson. The fourth miracle. An inexplicable stillness arrives in the space that belongs only to the two of you. This is an invisible miracle, but it is the deepest one. You are doing nothing special, simply sitting together in the living room, and yet that space is filled with a deep stillness, different from the outside world. This very stillness is the appearance of a cosmic harmony, one that is born only when two frequencies overlap completely. The fifth miracle. Your state of health and your fortune begin to rise, for the two of you, at the same time. This is a concrete and easy-to-understand miracle. Long-standing health troubles begin to improve for both of you in the same period. Work and money fortune begin to turn for the better around the two of you at the same time. This is the result of the universe's energy beginning to flow into the lives of the two of you more efficiently, because the two frequencies have synchronized. The sixth miracle. Past wounds begin to heal for the two of you at the same time. This is one of the most moving miracles. Old wounds that have made the two of you suffer for decades begin, from a certain period, to grow lighter, strangely, for the two of you at the same time. A couple whose frequencies have synchronized no longer needs to carry their wounds alone. Each one's frequency naturally neutralizes the other's wounds. The seventh miracle. The people and opportunities you need appear around the two of you at the same time. This is the miracle that appears on the most outer level, brought about by the synchronization of frequencies. The connections the husband needed are carried in from a chance meeting of the wife. The opportunity the wife was searching for is opened up by a casual word from the husband. The things the two of them were each drawing toward themselves are no longer separate. They begin to arrive to the two of them as one large flow. These 7 miracles do not all happen at the same time. According to the depth of synchronization, they arrive one by one, quietly. If even one of them feels familiar to you, then the synchronization of the frequencies of you and your partner has already begun. Chapter 6. The 3 rituals for quietly synchronizing a couple's frequencies. From here, let me tell you 3 rituals for synchronizing the two frequencies more deeply. These are not grand actions. They are the quietest of practices, ones that anyone can begin within daily life. The first ritual. Once a day, secretly try to match your breathing to your partner's. There is no need to tell your partner about this. When you are sitting next to each other in the living room, or when you have gotten into bed at night, observe the rhythm of your partner's breathing, and gently try to match your own breathing to that rhythm. Breathing expresses the human frequency most directly. When breathing synchronizes, the heartbeat synchronizes, the brain waves synchronize, and finally, the vibration of the soul itself begins to synchronize. Just by continuing this for a few minutes a day, the two frequencies surely draw closer. The second ritual. At the end of the day, name 3 good things about your partner within your heart. There is no need to tell your partner about this either. Simply, within your own heart, recall just 3 good moments of your partner from today. It does not matter how small they are. That they made you coffee, that they made you laugh with a casual word, that they were quietly there beside you. This is a ritual to grow the frequency of gratitude within you. The frequency of gratitude is one of the highest and most beautiful vibrations that resonate in the universe. The moment you begin to broadcast this frequency, your partner's frequency is naturally drawn toward it. The third ritual. Once a month, consciously make time for the two of you to do nothing. For a modern couple, this may be the most difficult ritual. Turn off the television, set down the smartphone. Do not try to make conversation, and simply spend time, the two of you, in the same space. 30 minutes, or even 10 minutes, does not matter. This time of doing nothing is the very moment when the frequencies synchronize most deeply. Within the noise of daily life, the two frequencies are disturbed by stimulation from the outside. But when the two of you place yourselves within silence, then, for the first time, the true vibration of each comes out to the surface. If you continue these 3 rituals, without forcing them, while enjoying them, the synchronization of the two frequencies will surely accelerate. There is no need to seek a dramatic change. By the time you notice it, a deep stillness, different from before, is flowing between the two of you. Chapter 7. Marriage is a cosmic ensemble in which two people play a single frequency. Finally, let me speak about the thing I most want to tell you. Marriage is the most beautiful place of ensemble, prepared by the universe. Think about it. Music played alone is certainly beautiful, but the harmony that is born when the sounds of two people overlap perfectly holds a beauty of one dimension higher, a beauty that can never be reached alone. The synchronization of a couple's frequencies is the very completion of this harmony. Think of the tuning of an orchestra. Before the performance begins, the instruments each produce separate sounds, and they resonate like a discord. But the moment all the instruments are matched to the same reference tone, together with the conductor's signal, the discord, until then, changes into one beautiful chord, a chord that could never have been imagined. The relationship of a married couple is exactly the same. Even if, at the start of marriage, or during the long years spent together, there was a period when the sounds of the two felt scattered, that is nothing more than a stage where the preparation for the ensemble is still continuing. The universe, who is the conductor, will surely, at some moment, give the two of them the same reference tone. In that moment, the discord, until then, changes into the deepest chord. And when that chord is complete, a world different from before spreads out around the two of them. The 7 miracles quietly welcome the two of them at the entrance of that new world. If, right now, you feel some sense of dissonance between yourself and your partner, please do not receive that dissonance as the end of the relationship. It is proof that the tuning of the ensemble is, right now, in progress. And the sound in the middle of tuning does not necessarily sound beautiful, but only to the two people who trust that tuning all the way to the end does the universe give the deepest harmony as a gift. And one day, you will surely realize something. You will realize that, between you and the partner you once passed by so often, dissonance no longer exists, and in its place, even when you are doing nothing, a deep and quiet time, in which the two of you play the same frequency, is flowing, as if it were the most natural thing. That is the quietest and the greatest gift from the universe. A gift received only by two people whose frequencies have synchronized. Closing. Thank you, truly, for listening to my long talk all the way to this point today. Until today, you may have thought, felt, and worried about many things regarding your relationship with your partner. There may have been many nights when you carried, all alone, things in your heart you could tell no one. You have truly carried that weight so well. This is never because you were weak. Rather, it is precisely because you have sincerely wished to cherish this relationship that you have been able to keep facing it so deeply. You have done nothing wrong. You are a person who has loved enough, and sincerely. And from here, there is no longer any need to carry it alone. The synchronization of the two frequencies is not something to be brought about by your effort alone. It is something that will surely arrive through the natural force of entrainment that the universe has prepared. From now on, Each time you feel a small dissonance with your partner, you will become able to receive it gently, thinking, "Ah, right now we are in the middle of tuning." Send. The accumulation of that acceptance will surely change the relationship of the two of you, deeply and beautifully. Please, do not rush. If you hurry the synchronization of frequencies, it will move away again. Simply, with trust, entrust yourself to that flow. The relationship between you and your partner will, from here, open up into a place far deeper, more beautiful, and more full of miracles than you imagine. There is no doubt about this, because the two of you have already begun walking toward the most beautiful destination the universe has prepared, the destination of playing a single frequency, together. The universe is always on the side of you and your partner. Please, with peace in your heart, keep walking the continuation of the ensemble that belongs only to the two of you. A final message. If today's words touched your heart even a little, I would be very happy if you would give this video a like. It becomes a small declaration to the universe, a declaration that you yourself have certainly received the truth of a couple's frequency. And on this channel, I will continue to deliver messages that gently realign your life from the perspective of the universe, the soul, and frequency. If you feel you would like to return again, please subscribe to the channel and let us deepen our learning together in the next video. Finally, if you would like to send a signal to the universe that you have truly received today's message, I would be happy if you would write one short line in the comments. Simply write, "I have received it." That one line will surely carve the frequency of you and your partner onto the side of the light. May infinite light and deep resonance be with the souls of you and your partner. Then, let us meet again in the next video. Thank you, truly, for listening all the way to here.